Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm your host, Joe the Panther the Third, and we're here for another awesome day here for Lucha Day. Always, always, always. Thank you, Grandpa, for everything you did in the Lucha community. But today we have a gentleman that, it's interesting. Introduce yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Evan. I'm currently a representative for El Magnifico. He's out there training, possibly saving parts of the world, maybe. He's a very interesting guy, to say the least. So I help him out in terms of social media stuff or helping him with record his promos. So I'm here, to represent him since I kind of know him the best out of everyone. So hi there.
Welcome, welcome to Dudes at Ringside. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm not very familiar of having hit the representatives, but that's always good. So, how long has he been in the wrestling business?
Well, he's been training for a long while now. However, I would say 2 years ago, that's when he started kind of getting his groove back. At least that was where like I met him. We were both training at WrestlePro. Me, I kind of stopped for a bit due to a lot of injuries. But when I saw him come in roughly 2 years ago, he was just wowing everyone over at the school when it came to the coaches, when it came to the other students. So right now he's, like I said, getting his groove back, trying to get the rust off of him because, well, he is kind of like a spirit embodied into the body of someone else. So it's like he's like an old soul trying to learn new tricks, so to speak.
So, where do you think he would fall in the timeline of wrestling, like back in the day? Where do you think he would fit the best? What timeline?
You mean in terms of style or where he
Yeah,
came
like in
from?
terms of style, like where would you think he would fit in the most?
Ooh, definitely the 90s, especially the WCW Cruiserweight division. He would fit
Ooh.
in perfectly with that.
Who would be his big rival?
Biggest rival, I would say Ultimo Dragon.
Ooh.
He's been studying him very carefully, especially after these 2 years. He's been watching him, taking inspiration from him, and he's just every move that Dragon does, he wants to emulate it. So I feel like if he was brought back to that time, they would have almost like a mirror match going on. So
Ooh. Awesome.
yeah.
So like when you're traveling with him, what is it like what is it like to travel with him? Like what kind of food does he like to have before a show? Like what is it like?
Anything his grandma cooks. Anything his grandma cooks. I will tell you that. So if it's anything that's like it, he'll tolerate it. Like we could go to like other Mexican shops or like mom and pop, you know, Hispanic food places. But yeah, if it's anything his grandma makes where it's, arroz con pollo, some just nice, genuine like Hispanic cuisine, he'll take it on the road with him and that's all he'll be eating. And yeah, sometimes he'll share with me, sometimes he won't. I'm fine with just eating a burger or whatever here and there. But
I guess your car's full of like Tupperware with food from like 2 days ago, and you have to like go find a place to clean them out.
yeah, it's hectic.
Jeez.
yeah.
Uh, do you have any fun traveling stories?
Let's see, fun traveling stories. I just know, like, whenever we're on the road, if Mark Anthony is playing, he will sing along with every lyric, every time to every beat. And somehow he has a beautiful singing voice. I don't know how he does it. Like, he wrestles, he also sings. And even though it's like cool, I don't need like the radio blasted all the way up to like 100.
He's crying. He's crying through his mask. He's singing.
Yes, exactly. So
It sounds like me watching the Yankee games. It's like when they hit a home run. One time, short story. I was in the car with my friend, and I hear the click on the thing, and I start hearing John Sterling going into his call that it is hot, and I don't know why my hand went right over to the dial and like zoomed it up to like 20. And my friend's sitting in the driver's seat like this. I'm right here, idiot. The hell's wrong with you? And I'm like, well, I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear the call. You think you could hear the call? Damn it, the speakers are loud enough. Do you and him do you guys collect anything when when you go places?
Yes, actually. Just recently, WrestlePro, they had a taco fest going on. So there are other luchadors or like other wrestlers competing that night. And within that area, I forget the name of the area, but there was this big collectible shop, and we were able to pick up a bunch of like different figurines. We got this very old school Tiger Mask figure from way back when, as well as like the latest Owen Hart figure from Jazzwares for
I was about to
AEW.
say AEW must have released that because I don't really see anything coming out for like in the WWE department with Owen.
No, not at all. So the moment we saw that, we're just like, we got to pick that up. We got to
Yoink.
pick both of these
A lot
up.
of things like that are hard to like get because you either have to have a friend that's a super collector or a website that you're like, do I trust this company or do I run the fuck away from them? Like,
Yeah,
what
for
tables do you trust the most at like wrestling shows when it comes to like toys? Do you trust like the normal guy that's selling the merch, the random merch, or do you trust those guys that are like the super collectors that are selling stuff?
I'd say it's a mixed bag because definitely if I see the product, I would want to. If there's anything that catches my eye, a part of me wants to study what the product is first before I purchase it to see if there's any like fakes or any like just what is say like the first run of the figure or like a duplicate or like what is a chase variant for it. So when it comes to those things, that's what I try to figure out the most. But when it comes to the seller, my initial idea is to, I guess, trust them at first, just to make sure and see what the prices are as well. But I don't know. So far, I haven't had any bad luck when it comes to any shady like sellers or anything.
Hmm.
Just anything off of like eBay. Then I'm just very like, do I trust this? Do I trust this or not? So
Do you see? I see it going through PPW a lot. They have people selling like toys, old toys, like the old. I haven't seen it lately because I haven't gone to ISPW. But ISPW is in New Jersey, and they
yes,
have a table just with the old wrestling figures, the ones that are like this, the ones
yeah,
you barely move, and it's like, oh my god, they have like the warlord but with the weird face, and they have because I'm 40, so I remember the Hogans, the Andres, the big weird ones that are just like this, of Andre with the huge afro with the
yeah,
trunks, and the Hogans that are just like this, and you have to make you don't break the fists, and they have what the Macho Man with the spinning with the scepter and stuff like that. So, for you, what generational toys were yours?
Well, for me personally, I guess when it came to generational toys, I grew up with the Jack Pacific. Um,
Oh,
I
that's
grew
the
up
bigger. That's the newer ones, right?
roughly. Well, Mattel is like running like the WWE stuff now
Mm.
since 2009, I believe. But when me personally, when I grew up, it was Jack Pacific from like the late 90s onward. So it was like those pretty articulated figures, some of the more modern ones of where you see guys like Eddie Guerrero figures, where you see like Bret Hart figures, for the classic superstars line. And then you have like the ruthless aggression waves where like John Cena was around, I guess you could say more frequent on TV.
Yeah.
So when they had all of those figures there, that's what I grew up with personally. So I still have a lot of those in my garage somewhere.
Oh,
Uh,
jeez.
yeah. So
I
I
found one
don't
of Terry Funk in my collection. I have still in a box. And
really.
man, when he died, I was like, "Ooh, do I want to be that guy and sell it, or do I want to keep this forever?" And someone gave me a whole bunch of Big Show when he won the title for the first time. When he was the first time he was the Big Show,
Mm,
and I sold them and I kept one. And I'm like,
Mm.
I know one day it's gonna be worth. I got a lot of money for them. I was like, whoa! It was like the one when he had the belt, and he's like, when he won the belt,
Yeah.
WWF title for the first time, and on the Attitude Era title.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna sell this one. I'm like keeping this one, Dad. So, do you collect pops or no?
I have 3 Funko Pops in my room.
Ooh,
Uh,
who?
of AJ Styles. That's one of
Ooh,
my favorite wrestlers of all time. Finn Balor, one of my modern favorites, and The Undertaker, the guy that got me started watching wrestling.
ooh, cool. Um, I have Rey Mysterio Amazon exclusive. I'm looking at him right now. I got Zack Ryder, yes, Zack Ryder, and the Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase with the belt on the shoulder.
Yeah.
DiBiase, not the one with the belt on the waist, so with the hands, the money, and the one and only Paul Heyman.
Mm.
Yes, I got that one from GameStop. My sister
Oh,
got me both of the Ray and the DiBiase from Amazon.
nice. That's pretty badass.
So, is like, are there any other places that you two want to travel in the world that you haven't been to yet?
Well, El Magnifico really, really, really wants to go to Mexico as well as Japan
Mm,
because those were the places that some of his favorites traveled to, like Ultimo Dragon per se. He was a Japanese wrestler that, went on to Mexico, learned the style, and became like a legend between both countries.
mm,
So that's like one of his main goals to kind of emulate what Dragon's doing, kind of be the modern day Ultimo Dragon.
mm.
So, and wherever he goes, I'm down to join him because
Awesome.
he's my friend. So
But you don't mind telling him Joe Panther Third says hi. I really wanted to meet him. I wanted to give him a big air high five for doing what he does now. When you see him, please tell him Joe Panther Third says thank you. My grandfather through my body says thank you for continuing with the lucha legacy and keeping the torch going. Keep the torch away from the masks. They're flammable. Like, keep
yeah, I,
keep pushing the torch forward and keep running forward, keep going with the luchas because luchadors are come and go. AAA and generational things, and keep a tradition going. Always remember.
yeah, totally. I mean, if anything, I'll like talk to him right now, see if I could. Oh wait, that's him right now.
Okay,
Hold on. Wait a.
we'll be right back. Yeah, so Lucha Month is always will be and always has been dedicated to my lovely grandfather Jose. Oh, what the? Hey,
Amigos, Joe
hello,
Panther. Hola, mi amigo. ¿Cómo está?
welcome.
Ay, 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 lo siento. El Magnifico is running super late today.
Oh my gosh, what happened, man? What happened?
El Magnifico fought his worst enemy, Tráfico.
Jeez,
Magnifico came back from the gym, working hard, gaining the muscles. And
yes.
Tráfico still bested him. El Magnifico will not let Tráfico win next time. Pero El
So
Magnifico
before
is
we
very, very
go,
sorry.
my friend, um, if there was any kid, little boy or little girl that wanted to become a professional wrestler, what kind of advice would you give them?
Mm. El Magnifico says to always keep working hard. Work hard. Do not lose sight of your goal. You must train. You must study. You must do everything in your power to make sure that you can make your dreams a reality. A wise man once said, fight for your dreams, and your dreams will fight for you. And El Magnifico has learned that. So El Magnifico will not give up on his dream. So do not give up on yours.
Hmm. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on the podcast the last second because I traffic and training, it's all good, man. I understand. Um, If my fans, before we go, would like to buy any of your merch, where can they find it?
Oh, sí. El Magnifico tengo uno problema. El Magnifico will soon get merch on ProWrestlingTees.com. He will find a way. He will make it happen.
Yeah.
So just be on the lookout. Follow El Magnifico at El Magnifico Uno on Instagram, and you will see that El Magnifico will get merchandise soon. So you can buy mascaras. So you can buy camisas. So please stay tuned. Very stay tuned.
And we will catch you in the next one. Good night, everybody.
Buenas noches.